Last 2 weeks. I like the spot. Hope everybody's doing well. The birds are chirping. It's 4:20. It's also Easter. So yeah, did you get your THC infused Easter eggs? Oh man, different stuff happening on this day in history. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Let me do a few other little things here, and we'll get set up for you guys. Thank you. Da, 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 da. Nice hot coffee. I gotta take the lid off. It's so flippin' hot. At least they filled it all the way up to the top this time. They're so programmed to not fill it all the way up because people want to put sugar and creamer and stuff in their coffee. So yeah. Let's see here. I got one person. What's going on, Terry? And Ramesh is here. Good morning, Ramesh. Nice hot coffee. Let me see if I can get my poll started for the day. Nope, that's the wrong key. Ramesh is just so hung up on all the beautiful women running around. I hate to break it to you, Ramesh. They're very what they call snooty, uppity. They don't want anything to do with you or me. But anyway, this cookie is an old cookie. Kind of stale. Everybody's dressed all pretty for Easter. You know, it makes them happy. That's fine. I just found it kind of, even when I did go to when I was Catholic, went to church and Easter and all that good stuff, how that everybody shows up for Christmas and everybody shows up for Easter, but you never see them the rest of the year. And if they do show up different times throughout the year, kind of randomly, or even all year long, they would like, short of putting on tuxedos, go to church, get their nice, trying to be like you, Terry. Nah, I can't do that. I can't wear the stretch breeches. But it's so funny that they'll get so dressed up for Easter and so dressed up for Christmas, but not the rest of the time. Why not? Is God not deserving, or Jesus not deserving of your best attire every time you visit his temple, his house of worship? I will say this. Black churches and black people dress up for church year round. They're not going to church with a t-shirt on. They're wearing the funny hats. They're all dressed up every Sunday. Yeah, I saw your haircut, Terry. Trimmed off the big old beard. Nice cookies. Heck, a minute to chew. Uh-oh. Yeah. I saw your haircut, Terry. And everybody's here early this morning so they can get their breakfast in before they go to church. I won't say everybody, but a nice little crowd. All in their Sunday best. Oh, you're in my attic? Holy crap. Well, I need you to run an air duct for me if you're in my attic. No, I'm just not trying to be loud. That's all. Just trying to stay a little quieter. I slept pretty good last night. This is my first cup of coffee. I'm a lot louder at home because I don't have people physically watching me. I know you guys are watching me. All right, Terry. Have a good one, man. But when I'm out in public like this, I don't want to be screaming at the camera, so I'll talk a little more subtle. Anyway. Have you guys ever watched the Monty Python movies? I know I've said this 100 times. There's Monty Python, The Quest for the Holy Grail, where they get in this one scene, and they're fighting this vicious bunny, and it's got large, nasty, pointy teeth, and they're having to throw like a holy grenade at it and all this other stuff. I just read on this day in history. Jimmy Carter was fishing in a Georgia pond. He fights off a hissing, teeth-bearing swamp rabbit trying to get into his boat. I wonder if Monty Python, they gave him all kinds of hell for it. Jimmy Carter fighting off this insane rabbit trying to get in his boat. I wonder if people in Monty Python used that as part of their. Is that where they got it from? I never made the connection because I didn't know about the Jimmy Carter story. I thought it was funny though when they encounter the vicious bunny rabbit with big pointy teeth. Maybe it was. Came out around the same time. This happened in '79. Let's find out what time, when that movie come out. It came out in '75. Oh, they predicted it. They predicted it. Hey Rob, how's it going? So in '75, Monty Python made a skit about a vicious rabbit. And then in '79, Jimmy Carter got attacked by a vicious rabbit. 4 years later, it's kind of like all those the predictions the Simpsons make. You know, all these little tidbits about how the Simpsons predicted all different things from elections to natural disasters and world events and stuff like that. And the press mocked him mercilessly about the killer rabbit and the bonsai bunny. Robert's doing great. He's doing great. He got to play with the neighbor's dog. The neighbor has a fenced in the yard as well, and a smaller dog. Took him over there. I asked the guy first. I said, "Hey, can my dog play with your dog and see if they're..." Because he's alone. He's got tons of energy. I'm like, "Sure." Made him a little friend. They're running around the backyard and stuff like that, having a good time. So that's cool. That he's got somebody he can run around and play with. Oh, fuck, it's hard as hell. Yep. Let's see what else happened. I won't talk about that one. All kinds of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened during the Civil War at this time, in 420. That's before they used it as a pot day. Damn. There we go. That cookie's gone now. I was thinking about shaving the beard. I don't know. I'm not crazy about shaving all the damn time. That's why I'm asking you guys, should I shave it or not? If you guys are into if you're finance people, FDR suspended the gold standard for the U.S. currency back in '33 this day. Put us on the Federal Reserve. I thought that happened in the '70s for some reason. I don't know. Nothing really funny happened this day in history. Let's go to the other website. There's no website that says like funny crap in history day, you know? It's all serious stuff. Oh, they turned a church into a public swimming pool in the Netherlands. I guess the membership had gone down. It's the picture of it. It's like this huge cathedral, and they hollowed out the floor and put a swimming pool in there. Now, why don't they do that in places like here in the States when you got these old Walmart buildings and stuff that just sit there and rot? I don't know. It's a nice picture. Really nice vaulted ceilings, stained glass windows, lots of lighting. Looks really nice. And then a giant swimming pool in the middle of it. That's wild. Yesterday I took apart the carburetor to my truck. I'm taking videos of it. I'm gonna make like a how-to thing. It's probably gonna be like 20 minutes long, where I completely disassembled the carburetor to my pickup truck. It wasn't that hard. I mean, my sister was like, "You're gonna be aggravated putting that thing back together." It's, you know, like I said, I used to take apart cell phones and laptops and things like that. It's not a big deal. You just got to keep your stuff organized on the table, if you will, or platform, whatever you're using, workbench or whatnot, and just don't mix it all up. Don't throw everything in a bucket. Just try to pick it out later. But I never had problems putting laptops back together and cell phones back together. Just, you know, got to be conscious of where you're putting the different items. Lots of little bitty washers and clips and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be good. It needed it. Some of the gaskets, there's some corrosion on the inside, and some other stuff like that. So, but it's all going to be good. Yep. Anybody else got any funny stories? My Redneck Jew video took off. I mean, normally I get like 500 views for a video. This thing got like 1,200. It's wild. Nobody really commented on it. It must have got shared somewhere. It doesn't have any comments, but it's like, well, it does have a couple. A couple people said they laughed about it. It's about Jewish space lasers. That is good coffee. How many of you guys are celebrating Easter today? Anybody out there in the world? I don't think they're celebrating it in India. Ramesh is not celebrating Easter. I wonder if people in other countries celebrate Easter like they do here in America. I'm sure that, you know, I would like to think they get dressed up or something, because it's that one of the 3 days of the year that you go to church no matter what. But do they like do the egg thing? The bunny and the eggs? A lot of bunny stuff going on, rabbits going on today. Jimmy Carter gets attacked by a rabbit, and today rabbits are pooping out eggs for everybody. Why didn't they use a chicken? They're coming up with this idea of like putting out eggs for kids to find on Easter. Why did it have to be a bunny rabbit? Why wasn't it a chicken or an ostrich? It could have been all kinds of different animals that lay eggs. Oh yeah. I heard about that too. China's like, you know, all those name brand stuff, that luxury stuff you've been buying, is all made here in China. I knew that. They weren't assembling that stuff in France. People are like, that's why it's so expensive, because they make it in France. It's Louis Vuitton. It's garbage. I was not surprised when they broke that story out. I was like telling everybody, look, everybody knows that their phones are made in China, and still charge you an arm and a leg to get it manufactured and sell it to you. They make the stuff. They'll send them to France, and somebody gets a rubber stamp or something on it to say, or they sew the tag. We got to put our little tag. This is ours now. We made it. I mean, it's pretty funny. I think it's hilarious. People spend thousands of dollars on a purse and find out that it was just made in China like everything else. Oh man, that is funny. All those expensive purses and Gucci, all the clothes and stuff. That stuff isn't made in Europe or the United States. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Coach, all kinds of other crazy ass brands that people spend thousands of dollars on. It's just yeah, China makes all that stuff. China, Vietnam, Taiwan, Indonesia, places like that, they all make that stuff. They just have better quality control. You know, Apple's like, we want you to build our phones, but we're going to make sure they're good, and you're going to have to do it a certain way. You're not going to have our factory in your country. And so China was like, okay. And they put stringent rules and guidelines to build these iPhones and stuff like that, and Apple products. Still cost them pennies on the dollar to have them made, and then they get shipped to the United States and sold for $1,000 a piece. So it's if people are shocked by that, they're just they're lost. They're so out of touch with reality. So out of touch with reality. All that stuff. And then what else was it that China was doing? Oh, they built this bridge. They built what's going to be the tallest suspension bridge in the world. It's going to be like over 2,100 feet off the ground. There's this gorge, like Grand Canyon type thing in China. And they built this bridge, and they did it like 3 years. And everybody's like, everybody's freaking out, going, oh, China can build this bridge in 3 years. We can't build anything. And, well, we did, you know. We used to build a bunch of stuff like that, too, before regulations and everything. Yeah, let's see. Let's take the Empire State Building, for example. It took 13 months to build the Empire State Building in the 30s. 13 months. It's not that it can't be done. It's not like China has this super labor force. They just have disposable labor, people that work for nothing, you know? And they got engineers. They can make it good if they want to make it good. But in my mind, I'm going to stereotype. I'm going to say Chinese people are pretty skimpy when it comes to spending money. Yeah. How much does it cost for an iPhone? At least $1,000 for an iPhone. Hold on a second. You want me to take that photo for you guys?
Oh, we really appreciate it.
Get all four of you guys in there?
Matching clothes today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Awesome, really appreciate it. Okay. Hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, right here.
Just like right here. Maybe right here.
That's good.
You got the trees and lights background on cars.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
You ready?
Yeah. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
All right, let's get a picture of Katie and Benjamin and Mommy and Katie and we're done.
They're doing a group photo.
Katie and Benjamin, come on,
They're all wearing green shirts. The girls are wearing green dresses, and the guys are wearing green shirts. They're all matching. But we built the Empire. Back to this, we built the Empire State Building in 13 months, and that was a depression before you had OSHA, and you had like all these regulations, building codes, and wage requirements, and people were just like throwing stuff at it, and making it happen. And it was actually a race. When they were building buildings in New York, it was like a competition. How fast can you get these buildings up before the next building, for the next building? And they did it in 1 year and 45 days, and it's still standing today. So, and it's that famous picture where the I-beam is sitting out on the edge of the building. Those guys are like 10 guys sitting there eating lunches on the edge of the building. That's why that's why they built it, and they were able to build it in 13 months because of this photo right here. I'm gonna show it to you. That right there. No harnesses, no safety nets, nothing like that. No hard hats. One guy's shirtless. They're all eating lunches and just kind of smoking cigarettes and just dangling off this I-beam, hundreds of feet up in the air. And just like, so, yeah, China's boasting how they built this humongous world's tallest suspension bridge in 3 years, but if it was under OSHA regulations and had to deal with unions and things like that, they wouldn't have got it done in 3 years. They wouldn't have had it done. Anyway, that's why they did it. It's like, I mean, it's an impressive feat to get that bridge built in 3 years. It's always fascinating how they can make the two, they work on both opposite sides of the canyon, working towards each other to build this bridge. It's cool how they can do it, and not have to support it from underneath. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I had a shitload of scaffolding. 2,000 feet worth of scaffolding going down in this Grand Canyon. Yeah. What's going on, Liz? Aw. Let's see what people said about my beard. Should I shave my beard? 57% said no. All right. It's my identity now, right? That's cool. Anyway, yep, good old China. Everything's made in China. I joked around, I was surprised I wasn't made in China. They make absolutely everything in China. There's hardly anything. I mean, there's stuff made in the United States, but it's so flippin' expensive. All right, I'm keeping the beard. Right now, we're keeping the beard. You guys probably wouldn't like the way I look without it. So used to seeing me with it on. Thanks, Ramesh. Yep. Why am I doing that? Oh yeah, I gotta figure that out. I gotta go to jury duty tomorrow. So yeah, I forgot to sign that, put in my leave slip Friday when I was at work. Robert might be scared. If I shave my beard, he might look at me kind of weird. I don't know. He may, I don't know. I'll keep it. I was thinking about shaving it last night, and I thought, I'll put it in the video and see what people say. Get people's comments, No, I'm gonna go anyway. It's fine. I don't want to take the chance or the risk here. I don't know what the rules are here in Georgia. I'm just gonna go down there, show them that I don't live in the county anymore. They'll be like, "Get out of here," and I'll go back to work. It's no big deal. I'm not worried about it. I gotta go back to Madison anyway. I have a P.O. box down there I need to check. So it's not a completely wasted trip. You skip more than 30? And they really want you on jury. What have you done that's so spectacular that you'd get to like, all right, let's shoot another one at Wesley. 30 times. Damn, I think I've only been, this is only my second time being summoned for a jury. The first one, I actually had some training, army training to do. I couldn't do it, so I got out of that one. And then this one, I'm not even living in the county anymore. So they're hell bent on putting you in a jury, Wesley. Wouldn't that be funny though? I'm not saying Wesley's going to do anything wrong. Let's just say he has to go to court for something. Because of a job he did on somebody's car, they took him to court. For whatever reason, they needed a jury. And then they're like, oh, it's very interesting, Wesley, that you need a jury. And you wouldn't show up for any other jury duties. What do you say about that, Mr. Wesley? Yep. One day Wesley's gonna be in court and need a jury for himself, and then they're gonna look at his record and go, well, according to us, you haven't been I didn't think you were very prone to juries. Surprisingly enough, you want to get one this time. Let's see what else is going on this day in history. I still don't understand. I gotta get somebody from another country to tell me if they do Easter like they do here in the States. Are we the only country that does rabbits and chocolate eggs? Happy Easter. Get your THC infused Easter eggs. Let's look it up. Celebrate. Let's see, it's thinking. Oh, we got different countries do it different ways. We do Easter egg hunts and parades in the UK. They do egg rolling competitions in the UK. I didn't know that. And then in Spain, it just says it's the most celebrations in the world. I don't know. Festa del Caro takes place in Italy. Something Pascal in Portugal. And then in Greece, they throw pots. They're throwing pots in Greece. That's funny. They're throwing pots and pans in Greece. Iconic Easter traditions, blah, blah, blah. Rolled Easter bunny, don't care. Let's see here. Who else is doing this? Nah, it's not going to give me a list. I got to read the whole damn flipping story. I want to read the one about Greece. There it is, Greece. It's known as Pascha. Greeks attend church through the whole week. Blah, blah, blah. They have services, yada, yada, yada. They have a holy fire, which is said to miraculously appear at the church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. The flame symbolizes Christ's resurrection and divine presence. Well, maybe they don't throw pots there. Well, there you go. You'll keep your $14 purse. Oh, you guys talking about the Chinese stuff again? Think of that. There's somebody right across from me who's got a fancy purse. I used to work with a lady that was obsessed with purses. Her own purses, other people's purses. There's this one lady that bought purses, and they would be mailed to her. And every time she got a package in, she would run up to the customer at the counter. It's like, and they would open it together and like, ooh, look at this, and check it all out. Germany started the Easter Bunny? Huh. Das Easter Bunny. I don't know. I don't like this website. It's not really giving me what I'm looking for. Easter, Easter, Easter. People do flowers. Some countries don't have palms, so they use willow branches. You'll have to. They're supposed to use palm branches. They need to go get some. Dadgummit. I miss what you guys are talking about. Terry would be so mad at me right now. Here's 10 different ways Easter is celebrated. Maybe this will break it down a little bit better for us. In Sweden, the kids dress up in old clothes and dress up as witches in Sweden for Easter. I don't know how. I mean, I don't understand the Easter bunny thing here, so I guess I can't cast lots against people who want to dress up as witches on Easter. The kids dress up as witches, not the adults. Oh, man. Oh. Well, in Haiti, they intertwine Catholicism and voodoo. They have parades, music, and chanting. And then the voodoo people bring sacrificial offerings. Oh, what is France is doing something stupid and weird as usual. So they did church bells instead of bunnies. Can you guess what they do in France for Easter? You guys guess what they do in France for Easter? They do a lot of bells. They make sure all the bells around France are silent from Good Friday to Easter, and then they bring them all. But there's one town that does something special on Easter as well. They serve a giant omelet in the town square. They got a picture of it. This pan's like 6 feet wide, full of eggs, and they make a giant omelet for Easter. So there's your eggs for Easter in Poland. I mean in France. I mean. Oh my gosh, they do the bucket challenge in Poland. Oh, hey, GH, what's going on, man? We're talking about how people celebrate Easter in other countries. So in Poland, it's cold there, but it says it here, it does not deter them. They drench each other with buckets full of water. They do the bucket challenge. That doesn't sound like fun at all. But citizens in the Czech Republic, long sticks decorated with colorful ribbons used as whips as they playfully tap women walking by. Did you guys, you heard that correctly. Let me say that again. What country are we talking about here? The Czech Republic. As a tradition in the Czech Republic for Easter Monday, people make whips and they just go around spanking women. What the hell? Long sticks are decorated with colorful ribbons used as whips as they playfully tap women walking by. Oh. They obviously don't have any Karens over there, so just walking around. Women would just lock themselves indoors unless they're into that type of thing. their kink is getting spanked, they go around walking hoping to get some. But I imagine a lot of women would just stay inside and avoid it altogether. Oh, what are they doing in Spain? They do a death dance in Spain with skeletons and stuff. Yep. They march the streets dressed up as skeleton costumes and reenact scenes from Passion of the Christ in skeleton costumes. Place around the cities. I don't know. I don't get that one. Oh, the clay pots. Here we go. Pot throwing. In Greece, they throw clay pots. Flinging pot throw. It's a name. It's called pot throwing. And they throw it out of windows into the streets. Heads up! Pulling stuff out the window. Cascading out of the buildings and houses into the streets. So, somebody's out there. You couldn't walk around barefoot. You'd get cut to pieces. You know, shattered clay and ceramic all over the place. The tradition of earthware being thrown out of windows is symbolic of the new crops that will be gathered in the newly purchased pots. So they don't reduce, reuse, and recycle in Greece. They're gonna grow stuff in pots, but they gotta be brand new pots. And the old ones they shatter into the streets. Makes total sense. They throw cow. No, what? Poo throwing? Oh my gosh. Is that for the monkeys? And then in Italy, they had this thing. It's supposed to symbolize beautiful harvest in the spring. It's an ornamental cart that looks like a Japanese temple. It's got fireworks and parade around the streets. Boring. I'm looking for funny stuff around the world people do. It's a tradition of blah, blah, blah. What? So they... What country am I in this time? Norway. In Norway, they watch detective shows and play board games. They still got snow. They go skiing as well. It's a ski holiday in Norway on Easter. So they go skiing and they play board games. Beaver liquor. Oh my gosh. Loki with the pondering question here. I don't know. Are we taking into consideration the circumference ratio to the depth? You know, I mean, if it's like 6 feet wide and 6 inches deep, is it still a pan or is it considered a pot then? Are we taking the diameter and versus the height? We got to get more details, Loki. I think there's more to it than just the depth. You got to have more stuff. Does it have one handle or does it have 2 handles? Is it curved or do the edges go straight down? But a butt cake pan. That is right. It's called a pan. Huh. I don't know. We may never know. We may never know why they differentiate a pan from a pot. And why don't they just call them all pots or all pans? Who decided to make the distinction between one and the other? Because they're throwing them out the windows in Greece. Yeah, he did. You're right, Wesley. He celebrated 420 early this morning, coming up with deep questions, deep thoughts and stuff. Oh, that's funny. Smoke pots for Easter. Oh my gosh. Yeah, where's the distinction between a pot and a pan? That's a good question. I never thought about that. Well, you don't have to smoke. You can eat it. You can consume your Zaza through like a brownie or something or a cookie. Make Zaza tea. You ever heard of that? Oh, we got people talking about religion over here. Caught my ear. It's more effective. Yeah, you can eat it, or you can do the suppository route, which is kind of gross. And that's it. Those are the weird countries with their weird traditions. Clay pots, omelets, skeletons, and witches. To each their own. What's the... it doesn't say what they do in Russia. I don't know. That's a strange country, too, compared to us. I don't know, dude. Let's go with this. Let's look at another website. I don't know. We don't have to keep talking about Easter. We can talk about something else if you guys want to. Talk about China and all their glory of making everything for us. Oh, another little fun fact real quick for you. What day? What was this? Let's go here. In 1871, the Ku Klux Klan Act, passed by Congress, gave Ulysses S. Grant, the president at the time, to declare martial law and track down these people and use military force to, suppress them and their radical group. So there you go. Do these laws come with expiration dates? Because there are politicians that like to pull up old laws from 200 years ago and start using them and stuff. I'm just asking, for a friend. Have the no sleep thoughts. There's a whole story about it, but yeah. And then the Supreme Court in 1882 declared the Ku Klux Act unconstitutional, so it got torn down. Couldn't do it, but they had already been pretty much wiped out as far as, or suppressed, I should say. Yep. Interesting stuff on 420. Anyway, are you guys doing anything today? Anybody? Anybody going anywhere? Anybody doing anything? Or everybody just sitting here chilling, watching me? Yeah, I gotta talk quiet. I don't want to interrupt people's Easter breakfast with my chuckling over here. Can you guys hear me okay? Or do I need to get my microphone out? Let's see here. Oh, what national day is it? Oh gosh, come on. Nope, this website's not the right one. What national day is it today? There it is, National Day calendar. Well, we know what the 420 part is. Volunteer Recognition Day. What else is National Day? It's National Cheddar Fries Day. That's probably brought on because of 420. Lima Bean Respect Day. You need to respect your lima beans. Oh, it's National Lookalike Day. Like that whole family over there dressed in green. Somebody got the memo. What else we got going on for this day? Stupid stuff. Pineapple upside down cake day. I think the food related ones are based because people are smoking pot on 420. It may just be me, I don't know. But cheddar fries sound pretty good. Make some cheddar fries when I get home. I've got the stuff. I got potatoes. I had to make my own fries, which isn't hard to do, really. Interesting. It's illegal to shoot Bigfoot. Well, that's good. It's good. It's probably why he's up there. Birds. I had that woodpecker get on the side of my house and try to drill a hole in the siding again this morning. And he does it right on the other side of the wall from my bed. So it's like super insane loud. It just, ow! It's like a machine gun going off. Hey, is it Sharda? Hello, Sharda. Safe to say she's not going on any Easter service. She's got her stretchy breeches on. And that's it. All stretchy stuff on her. No, I probably won't do anything. Probably wash the car today. Finish working on my carburetor for the truck. Take Robert for a walk. Make some cheddar fries in honor of National Cheddar Friday. I don't know. What are you guys going to be doing today if you're not going to church or hiding eggs? Just another Sunday. It is nice out here. Kind of cloudy, partly cloudy. Cool. It's supposed to get like 85 today, though. Poutine? What are you trying to tell me, Loki? I should get some eggs or something, shouldn't I? Little bird. All right, let's see here. I'm going to leave this thing. Let's look at the voting real quick. I'm kind of hungry. 50%, huh? Want me to keep my beard. Somebody needs a fan belt. Fried cheese, curds, and gravy. Well, Ramesh always tells us that it's hot and nasty in India every day. So, what part of India are you in? And today's your birthday on 420? Lucky you. Alright, I'm gonna leave this stuff here and go get a refill. I'll be right back. Cold and frozen, huh? Order me a biscuit. I'm number 43. We'll see how long it takes them to bring just one biscuit out. There's been a few people out here still waiting on food. I don't think they're in a hurry back there. Sorry. What did I miss, guys? Anything? Nothing? Gotta find some funny news today. Oh my gosh. Let's look up and see if we can find something funny. From the Associated Press. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. They're using they're letting robots in China race against actual people on a track. Humanoid robots run a half marathon alongside flesh and blood competitors. That'd be just unsettling. Kind of be demoralizing. All you gotta worry about is the battery capacity of the droid thing, the humanoid. They're gonna be in your homes. They're gonna be walking the streets before you know it. They will. I was talking about this the other day. This YouTuber decided to go to this restricted island in India with a Diet Coke can, and he's in jail. It's totally restricted. He was like doing some live stream. I'm not going to be doing that. And it's funny how they emphasize that he had a Diet Coke can, because these people don't know anything about the modern world. They're isolated. They live their own lives. It's a restricted island, and this guy comes in there with a cell phone and a Diet Coke can, and they're like, "You're going to jail, buddy." Let's see. I don't know. That's not funny at all. None of that stuff's funny. This is called WTOP. WTOP News. Funny and weird stories. A helicopter marshmallow drop in Michigan, in Detroit. Are they individually wrapped marshmallows, or just like bags of marshmallows? Or are they individual marshmallows that are just pelting people in Detroit right now? Again, it's clay pots, and in Detroit it's marshmallows. People are just throwing stuff all over the place. We got to get into this. We're missing out. What could we be throwing? What odd things? We could be like throwing sticks of butter. I don't know, just weird stuff, right? God must be angry. Yeah. I think I've seen part of that before. You ever seen that movie, The Invention of Lying, with Ricky Gervais? That's pretty funny. I'd like to watch that again. Wow. A Russian bucket brigade goes down this road and helps toads cross the road into the spawning sites. They put toads in buckets, help them cross the road, and let them go. Why don't they just shut the road down? Why can't they just shut that one road down if it's that big of a deal? We got a hybrid car over here. They got into it and started up. It sounded like an orchestra. Oh. It's holy transit. Oh, ooh. Did you guys hear that? Oh my gosh, let's see here. What's the deal with gender reveals? Can anybody explain that to me? Why is it such a big thing now, gender reveals? When, when some people argue they don't even know their gender yet. How dare you have a gender reveal? They have to find out what their own gender is in their own time. It's so stupid. You should have them on different sides of the field and let them fight each other. Party for a 21-year-old. Yeah. Oh, that's a good WTF news. I gotta do that. I gotta do that one for WTF News, Wesley. That'd be a great news article. It picked finally. How old is your kid again? He's 21. He just now found out. Well, he, she, they, them just found out what they are this year. A gift registry at Walmart. You'd be at Target, not Walmart. Get it right, man. That's just hilarious to me. If that offends somebody, oh well. That's just hilarious. You got a baseball player in the major leagues swinging a blue bat because he's having a boy. Then you got people on the other side of the fence outraged that the person hasn't been able to identify its own gender yet. That's genius. Anyway. I'm just reading some more stuff here, see if there's anything funny. I don't know if I can top that gender reveal thing now. Oh gosh. And then this Galapagos tortoise in the Philadelphia Zoo had its first babies. What gender are they? I think I'm 100 years old. The tortoise, not a turtle, is 100 years old and just now having kids. Yeah. I know they live a long time, but that's crazy. Oh yeah, did you see this one where the guy did he couldn't afford a lawyer or something like that, so he created an AI-generated lawyer to defend him in court. And then the court's like, you can't do that. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? But yeah, he tried to argue a case before the court. He had an AI-generated lawyer speaking on his behalf for him. And the guy was an older guy too. He's really good, Your Honor. And he's dirt cheap. He's very affordable. Yeah. And he's just totally chilled out. He's like, no, this is my lawyer. And they were like, no, we're not having that. But if you can represent yourself in a court case, where you plead all the arguments, you object and everything else, all on your own, and you can do that without passing the bar and becoming an actual lawyer, why can't you use AI? Is it a pot or a pan? Is it a boy or a girl? Is it an actual lawyer or not a lawyer? These are the things we're talking about today. I mean, that seems like a good argument to me. Somebody's going to make that argument. If you can represent yourself, me, in court, as my own lawyer and defendant of myself, I can argue that. Why can't I use AI? I'd probably have a laptop in front of me and like looking stuff up and making notes and whatnot like that. And use the internet for that purpose. So what's the difference in that using AI? It's just you can use the internet to plead your case and fight your case, but you can't let the internet talk for you. Maybe if he had like presented that beforehand instead of just surprising the judge with this whole AI thing, he probably could have got away with it. Somebody broke the glass plate. That's part, and that's the thing. The AI on the computer is probably way more knowledgeable than a regular lawyer. It has all access to all information, right? Yeah. That's another reason I think college is a joke. People are using AI and computers to do their reports and all this stuff for them. And then just because they have a degree doesn't make them an expert. Because if you just barely pass the class and get a degree, you got the same degree piece of paper as somebody who's on honor roll. So, hey Zank, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while. He put trademark next to his name. Yeah. But I've had that argument. College is a scam. It's a scam. They get tax breaks. They get billions of dollars from the government, and they charge outrageous prices. And then they send out these loans. People have to pay these high interest rates on for years and years and years for a degree they may or might not even use. It doesn't make sense. I think it'd be better if they just did on-the-job training. And then you could hire and fire whoever you wanted based on their ability to learn on the job. Even if it's a lawyer. I mean, there's some things you need to go to school for. I'll give you that. A doctor, okay? You got to be able to slice somebody open, fix an organ, put it back in there, sew it up, and they live. That's brain surgery. That stuff like that, I understand. You need to go to some school for that. But a lot of this other stuff, like business management, arts degrees, and stuff like that, total joke. I don't think you can use a computer or AI to pass your exam to be a surgeon. You know what I'm saying? You actually have to get in there and cut somebody open to do all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, that'd be a little bit different. A lot of degrees are complete garbage. But, you know. Well, it's Daniel. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm just reading some more stuff. Getting to some older stories. Shave your beard, eye, and sub. That guy probably waited 30 minutes for a biscuit in a paper sack. No drink, nothing. He sat there for a good 30 minutes for a biscuit. This has got to be the slowest restaurant I've ever been at in my entire life. All right, Johnny B, we have some questions for you. We really want your opinion on this. Loki presented this question. At what point do you distinguish the difference between a pot and a pan? Does it have to be so deep before it becomes a pot? Or does it stay a pan? Where's the fine line that distinguishes one from the other? That's one of the pressing questions we had earlier today, Johnny B. That, gender reveals, and something else. Oh crap, I forgot the other one. Oh, we were talking about colleges again, how they're a scam. But yeah, the pots and pan thing. It's depth for sure. Yeah, it's got to be. But it's like I said, if the pan is 6 feet wide, and you're in France making that giant omelet on Easter, just because it's 6 feet wide, does the it has to take part in it too. If it's 6 inches deep, but it's 6 inches or 6 feet wide, then it could be still considered a pan. But I think the circumference, the diameter, whatever you want to call it, of the pan or the item would play a part in that assumption. Now inside your home, your regular pots and pans, I would go probably with the the 4-inch rule maybe or something like that, maybe even 3 inches. Is a wok considered a pan or a pot, or is it just a wok? It has its own classification. What do we say? What do we call a wok? Is it a pan or a pot? And woks are deep. Let's look. Let's see what Google says about that. Okay. According to Google, it's a pan. Woks are deep, bowl-shaped frying pans with sloping sides that distribute heat evenly. Traditionally round bottom, but can also be flat bottomed. Google. That's right, I'm a college graduate of Google.com. I'm surprised Google hasn't tried to do that. What is a wok? It's like it's just that. It's like it tapers down. Google it. You just have to Google it, Soraya. You'll have to Google. I can't explain it. It's just easier for you to search it real quick. Yep. The Chinese government sells us for cheap. You're absolutely right. Pots and pans. Who would have thought we'd be arguing that today? Marshmallows from... Oh yeah, they're doing like Gucci. Get a Gucci wok. A Gucci wok. Wee wee. Nah, we're not doing that one. I'm trying to find another one that has some funny stories in it. In New York, alligators are actually in the sewers. They got video footage. Thank you, Johnny B. Wesley knows I'm going to be doing a WTF news on that. Dive into the new evidence on the shroud of Turin Malcolm. What? I'm just reading the headlines. You can make of the story what you want. I'm on the New York Times. Am I on the New York Times? Or New York Post. The New York Post. Some strange oddities going on here. And it shows a guy in a hospital bed with a neck brace. Shroud of Turin. I tripped over my cat, but somehow suffered car crash injuries. Dude's like laid up with a neck brace and all kinds of shit. He must have tripped down a flight of stairs off of the cat. Alligators in the sewers, people tripping, getting car injuries. That woman's like 7 feet tall. Holy shit. It's just like a beanpole. Oh, did you see the? I saw an ad for Monopoly. They've got some new things you can put on your classic Monopoly board. You know how people use like free parking to pile money in. If you land on free parking, you get all the cash and other little crazy rules. Whoever's played Monopoly has come up with their own set of rules for. Well, they incorporated that, and now they sell kits for your Monopoly board so that you can have those features. There's also one they put on jail where you can bribe people in the jail. The jail people can bribe other people and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But they got different sets for the Monopoly board now. So, yeah. If you like Monopoly, they've got expansion packs for your Monopoly board now. You can buy the, I think this says, you can buy the bank. You can do all kinds of other stuff. It kind of just glazed over the different features of it all. But, yeah. He took the first selfie. He worked out a lot to get to that point too, didn't he? With the 6-pack abs and everything. I don't know. I'm trying to read some of these things. Somebody found an old pot and sold it for some ridiculous amount at some auction. Oh, look at that.
Biscuit sandwich with scramble and cheddar.
I don't need the dish silverware. I'm good.
Sure.
Yep. Thanks, man. It took 20 minutes. 20 minutes for that. It looks great. Oh, Robert's at home. He doesn't want to sit here on this concrete for 2 hours watching me talk to a camera. Pretty good. And he tried to give me a fork and knife with it too. It's not a Snickers bar. Why do I need a fork and knife for my biscuit? Right, Johnny? Pretty good though. Sorry. Another one of those holy cars. Oh. I think the Dodge Charger, they got like this other version that's like, I don't know if it's a hybrid. It's probably a hybrid. But since it doesn't make any noise, they have a switch that you can trigger. And basically, there's a speaker on the back end of the car that make it sound like a rumbling V8. So you can have your hybrid and your noise too, if you want to be loud and obnoxious. You can flip a switch, and it'll rumble like a good old V8. I gotta see if that's real or not. Yep. There's a hybrid, and there's a switch to make it sound like a V8. Damn, Wesley, I didn't know you had so much information on that. Came from Israel. Scientists can't figure out how the image burned into the shroud. You sure it wasn't a piece of toast? Hey, Mr. Piper. We're hanging out, having a cup of coffee, and just chit-chatting and about whatever. We're talking about we just jumped into the subject about the Dodge Charger being a hybrid, but they put a switch so you can make it sound like a rumbling V8. We also were trying to figure out the conundrum. When does a pan become a pot based on the depth of the cooking utensil? So, all these pressing questions on a Sunday morning. That's kind of what we do here. I've got 3,700. Yep, 3,700 subscribers. And I do this coffee show Monday through Friday. I do it at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And we just sip over coffee, have a light conversation, laugh a little bit, and then go about our day. Lasts about 45 minutes. And I do some other stuff, some skits and things like that on the channel. You can check it all out. It'd be awesome if you did. Hell yeah, I love Tom Petty. One of my favorites. There's a channel on Sirius XM, the Tom Petty channel. I know they don't play just Tom Petty, but they do play all kinds of Tom Petty from concerts, and then they play other music. It's a pretty cool channel. I can listen to Tom Petty anytime. It's just, I can relate to it, I guess, in a way better than I can some other music. Now, I never met the guy. I wish I could have gone to one of his concerts while he was still alive. But, where are you from, Piper? I have a favorite Tom Petty song, Even the Losers. Even the losers get lucky sometimes. That's like my theme song. Even the losers get lucky sometimes. I wonder if I get a little bird jump here on the table if I put some crumbs down. A piece of biscuit here. I think it'll come down here and sit right here. I'll put some breadcrumbs. See if the little sparrows and stuff will jump up here if I sit real still. See if they'll jump over here and Shroud of Turin. You're gonna make me look that up, aren't you? Let's see. Oh. Some people believe it's a medieval forgery. I was Catholic as well. I never knew about that though. I did read a book about the Crusades though. That was pretty jacked up. How they sent all these men on horses and stuff to go fight for, the land of Jesus, right? They just kept sending waves and waves of men from Europe to go down there and fight. And a lot of them, of course, never returned back. They died or starved or whatever, from battle or hunger or something like that. And then some pope would be like, if you go down here and fight, all your sins are forgiven. You're a martyr for the church. It's no different than Islamic jihad almost. And you would have some priests ride along with all these knights in shining armor. And they'd have like a splinter of wood and say, this is part of the cross. We found a part of the cross that Jesus was crucified on. We can win. We've got this. And they'd go down there and fight. They didn't even have social media back then, and they fell for it. I have to think back at a time like the Crusade and stuff. You believed everything your priest said. They could read, for one thing. Most people couldn't. And you really just didn't have the science. I'm trying not to denounce God, but I'm just saying, what else did they have to follow and believe in? Why wouldn't they believe a priest or a pope who's supposed to be holy and tell you to go engage in war in a foreign land while he sat back in the Vatican and got fat? I don't know. Yeah, how they gonna do a photographic negative into some cloths back in medieval times? Time is resurrection. I have to refer back to that verse where it says, every nation will turn their swords into plowshares, and no man will fight with another man, and everyone will know God when the true Messiah comes. None of that happened. And if all it takes is for you to say, okay, I'll be back later, 2,000-3,000 years later, but I'll be back, I don't think that counts. Because if that's the case, I can go around and do some parlor tricks, and when they finally kill me right before I die, I'm just like, I'll be back, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's just my belief. That also goes into the other quote from Ecclesiastes: with more knowledge comes more sorrow. That's why ignorance is bliss. About choked on my biscuit. I'll be back. There was a comedian that said that Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to play Jesus in a movie, and he's got all those catchphrases. Like when he's on the boat and Peter's walking towards him and starts to sink in the water. Grab my hand. And then when they're in the temple, he's like, get out. And then when he's on the cross being crucified, I'll be back. Oh, man. Could you imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Jesus Christ and doing all those catchphrases? I think it'd be hilarious. You should wear a helmet, Solariah. Wear a bicycle helmet to school one day. Wear a bicycle helmet to school, and then they can smack you on top of the head all they want. I wish that myself guy was here. Yeah, what happened? What happened to the Mr. Perfect guy, Mr. Myself, the billionaire, multi-Medal of Honor winner? I think he finally got tired of us because I didn't fight him. I didn't argue with him. He's wanting a fight, and I didn't give it to him, so he went on to the next person. If that could teach you anything, Solariah, if somebody's bullying you and you don't entertain them, they're going to move on to somebody else. That was hard for me to learn as a kid. Favorite kind of coffee? I like a good medium roast. I don't have like a favorite brand per se. I do like whole bean coffee, so I can grind it myself. That makes it fresher. Now, stuff on the store shelf, I would probably get community coffee or 8 o'clock coffee, those type of over the shelf brands. Yeah. Yeah, the myself guy. He knew all and did all. There was nothing he couldn't complete or conquer. But that's living proof, Soraya. If you've got a bully and you don't react to their advances, their attacks, and you just like whatever or play along with it, they're either gonna think you're weird and leave you alone, or they're gonna get bored and leave you alone. Just saying. A teacher hits you in the head again with a phone, be like, "Oh yeah, do it again," and they're like, "You missed a spot. I want you to hit me over here. This is my sweet spot. It's the spot that makes me happy when I get hit." Say something crazy like that, and they'll probably not hit you in the head again. Yeah, 8 o'clock's good shelf coffee. But there's a roaster in Birmingham, O. Henry's. I got his. I just discovered a guy here in town that roasts his own beans. I haven't tried them yet. I haven't opened up the bag, but it looks good. You know, the beans don't look like they've been dried out. It's so bad. They still have that little bit of a sheen to them, which I like. So that's going to be good coffee too. Yep. Yeah, I like 8 o'clock coffee. But normally, I try to, now I'll drink Folgers and stuff too if I have to, if there's nothing else around. I'll drink pretty much any coffee, really. I don't like French roast. I think it's just too bitter. I don't know. It's either good to the last drop, Maxwell House, or Folgers in your cup. And Folgers, I think, is the largest roaster. Let's see. Something about Folgers being like the largest, still the most produced coffee or something like that. So, Folgers is the leading brand of regular ground coffee in the United States. In 2020, Folgers sales exceeded $1 billion, more than double that of its closest competitor, Starbucks. It also leads the decaffeinated ground coffee category, while Folgers is the most sold packaged coffee. A Reddit thread notes that Starbucks is number one in both dollars and units in total grocery sales. So Folgers sold double of its closest competitor, Starbucks. You have a mass roast down? He's a little bit of a snob. Yeah. But I make my own beans. I go and pack them in a bag in Colombia myself, haul them on my back on a boat. Take them to my place, roast them myself, and put them in my own bags that I make out of my own parchment paper. It sounds exactly like made real fancy coffee. Ooh. I don't know, people have to be a snob about that kind of stuff. I make all this myself. It's superior, superb. None of you can match this quality unless it's made in China and has a Gucci label on it. This Folgers the most popular coffee. As far as ground coffee sold at a store, Folgers is the king, or queen, or dictator, or emperor, or whatever you want to call it. Gotta make sure we say everything possible. I've never tried the black silk one though. He made a good coffee. Yeah, some coffee shops, local ones, do a really good job. There's this one that says that claims to roast their own beans and stuff. And we were just passing by and we saw this place and we're like, oh, let's try it out. So we pulled in their little shop. They had like 4 or 5 locations. And when we ordered a coffee, she went to this coffee pot thing that had like this condensed stuff in a jug or something like that, and went through and blended in poured it in your cup that way. I was like, there's nothing authentic about that coffee at all. You bought it from, what was it, Cisco truck, food truck came, dropped it off at your coffee shop. There's nothing locally roasted or done with that at all. It was just completely stupid that they claimed to have, you know, their own coffee, and it was, you know, their brand and all this other stuff. But it was this, you've seen it before. It was like a condensed jug. Yeah. And they didn't try to hide it. It was right there in plain sight. You walk up to the window and there's the machine. There was no grinders to be seen anywhere. No coffee grinders of any kind anywhere. Normally you would see it or hear it or something. Now, they could have put a sound effect of a grinder going off every once in a while in the background. That might have made it a little more convincing. But they didn't even try. They're like, oh yeah, we got this. It just goes to show how naive some people are when it comes to those brands and names. Like Gucci. Ooh, it's Gucci. It's gotta be nice. Louis Vuitton. Ooh, you know. It's the same leather. Any other leather. Some cow died, became a burger. They took the leather. They could either roll it up, make it out of make rawhide shoes for dogs, or they can take that leather and build and make you a purse. It's the same leather. It's nothing special. You don't see Gucci gun holsters, but you can see gun holsters made out of leather, right? What makes the Gucci or Louis Vuitton leather so special? Just saying. I'm 2 cups of coffee in. I have to go use the restroom. You guys hang out. I'll flip the camera around. I'll be right back. About fell down. Oop. I'm back. Of the key evidence of on the shroud, new, not the late 80s declaration of a fake forgery, new study. Huh. All right. Let's look it up and see. Do I still have it pulled up? Nope. Shroud of Turin. And then we'll tell Google to sort it by recent dates. Let's see. Let's just say the past year. From Magus Center. One for Israel. AI exposes the real image of Jesus from the Turin Shroud. Faith meets technology. Discover Jesus' image through groundbreaking AI analysis. How do they know it was Jesus and not some other guy? Do they have like one of Jesus's hairs and they can cross-reference the DNA? And if I'm not mistaken, the image that people see of Jesus was actually taken from a prince, or not a prince, a king or something in England. I don't know. Keep digging? Oh my gosh. You want me to go down a rabbit hole, don't you? Are you trying to convert me back, Wesley? And the controversial, mysterious Shroud of Turin is believed to be an actual 14-foot burial cloth used for Jesus after his crucifixion and death. Supporting evidence. And found pollen in the fibers of the shroud that were consistent with the pollen found in Jerusalem. According to the flora of the Shroud of Turin. Botanist, blah, blah, blah. What are you trying to get me to find? You trying to convert me back? I don't think it's going to work, though. My belief, or my non-belief in Christianity at this point, is because the more I study of what people call the Old Testament, there's too many contradictions, and there are parts of the Torah and that says this is what's going to happen when the Messiah comes. God doesn't lie, right? So he said there'll be a lot of false prophets, but the true Messiah, when the true Messiah comes, these things will happen. Those things have not happened, and I don't think God changes his mind. Right? Then you have the argument, there is an argument where Abraham argued with Jesus to save these people in this town. What if I find this? What if I find that? And you save these people, type thing. So some people say that that's how God can change his mind. But if we had the holy text and word of God from Moses and all of that, if you will, then yeah, there's supposed to be no more war. Everybody in the entire world is supposed to know the existence and acknowledge the existence of God. There's been a shitload of war, and there's a lot of people that don't believe in anything. So just those two little things alone for me. And there's more that I've studied. I'm not really good at arguing all those type of facts or details, things like that. To each their own, if you will. Agree to disagree, whatever you want to call it. I don't slam anybody for believing what they believe. Definitely don't do that. I think I did. When I was Catholic and in my 20s and 30s, I worried about people a lot. I was over I always worried about people all the time. And I was worried about, being a Catholic is, for me, I had the whole guilt trip thing going on. Hey, Eric. And not only felt guilty for myself, I felt guilty for other people. It's like they don't know. Why don't they know? Why don't they know this and that and the other about Jesus? Why don't they know this and that and the other about salvation? Why don't they know? Are they going to hell? Am I going to hell? Not for teaching it to them? It was just so much. It was stressful. It was so damn stressful. And then just to finally come to the realization, when I started asking questions, I was asking priests and other people who study, and they would like circumvent my questions or kind of dismiss them, and they would never give me an answer. I had to go look for myself and study for myself. And I'm not saying I have all the right answers. This is just what I believe, but I just don't. It just doesn't match. And a lot of this stuff in the New Testament was written by Paul. The Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's believed that those books were written 50 to 100 years after Jesus' death. And those people may or may not even wrote the book themselves. They could have, had it transcribed. They told their stories and somebody else wrote it down. And then, I don't know. Some of the books mention this and it's just, I feel more at peace and connected with God following the Jewish faith than I ever did with Catholicism. That's just how it feels. It resonates with me. I'm not stressed about it. I can have a one-on-one relationship with God. And that even in Judaism, they believe that there is no hell. It's just they have like a what you would recognize as purgatory type thing, but that's only for like a year, and your family and loved ones you left behind would pray for you for that year, and based on how good or bad you were is how much cleansing you need, if you will. I say I'm not good at arguing this stuff. I mean, and then they're like, well, what about Hitler? Does he get to go to heaven? And honestly, I don't think anybody really knows. I don't really think, because it's not talked about. Hell's not talked about in the Old Testament. Some people believe that if you're so evil, we'll use Hitler as an example, you just cease to exist. Once you die, you're just done. There's no glory or anything for you. There's no paradise or the world to come or anything for you when you die. If you're just that horrible in life, you've done so many atrocities in your life with no repentance of any kind. And then you got some people that say, well, if right before he took his cyanide pill and died in that bunker in Berlin, he could have asked Jesus for forgiveness. Really? I don't know. And then again, it's the Shroud of Turin. How do they know it was Jesus? It could have been another guy. I get mistaken for Conor McGregor, and I'm not even that guy at all. Not even remotely close. Oh, man. But I will say, whatever gives you inner peace, and that's what you want to believe in, do it. And then, like I said, I'm not going to knock you for it. I think every person. Well, there's one argument made. If you were born in India, you'd be Hindu right now. If you were born in the Middle East, you'd probably be Muslim right now. So, which religion is actually correct? I'd say 99% of people are raised at a certain religion their parents were believed in, if they believed in anything at all. And then you grow up that way. Only later in life do you decide to change or do something different. Why can't we let, unlike sect changes, why can't we educate the young about religion and let them choose their own religion. It's not like choosing your own sexuality. That's physical. This is more like faith and in your mind. I mean, it could be very coincidental. It may be him. I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny that. I don't know for sure, but the questions that pop in my head is how do we know exactly? And then the people who did the scan, how do we know that they weren't partial in their mind, their subconscious, to want to see this in that shroud when they examined it, did an MRI or scan or X-ray or whatever of it? How do we know that they were completely unbiased? I don't know. And that could be said about Judaism and about me too. So, I mean, and then people mock it. I don't want to mock people for their faith. I don't. And you've heard me say this a million times. As long as you can believe whatever you want to believe, but just do it peacefully. I don't see why you have to like force it on somebody or kill somebody over it. Just like all those people that died for the Crusades, and for what? Just to die. And they never, and they never ended up claiming it. It was the the Muslims ended up taking it. They couldn't fight them off. They'd fight them off and then come right back in. It was just like back and forth over and over. And again, I am not an expert, so please don't take my word for any of this stuff. I'm just having conversation. But even raised as a Catholic, I was a Catholic for 42 years, my whole life, and I've never heard of the Shroud of Turin. But even Christ said that I am what you call me. Christ himself never come up and said, I am the Son of God. He says, you say I am. But he never actually said, I am. Did he? These were other people following him saying, you're the guy. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, of course.
But I respect you, Wesley. Have your belief and have an educated discussion about it. And still be able to walk away and shake hands. That's cool to me. But I never heard of the Shroud of Turin before. I don't know. But I haven't been reading much lately. I haven't really been studying it much lately. I told you he was the manna. But he didn't fulfill the prophecies that the Old Testament claimed, that were written down to say that the Messiah was come. And I'm not trying to make fun of it, but if all it takes is to say, I'll be back in a few thousand years to complete this mission that I'm on, then anybody could have been the Messiah. There's nothing about the true Messiah dying for people's sins. And that even human sacrifice is hugely frowned upon in the Jewish faith. And every man should die for their own sins. I know he didn't say a few thousand years. He didn't say that. I know that. He just said he'd be back. He didn't specify. But it has been a couple thousand years. That's why I say that. And I respect you for that, Wesley. I do. I really do. I'm not going to judge you on that. And again, I had to take my own journey. And that was just me. That's just the path that I took. I always had this, I think too much sometimes. Maybe, just maybe, hypothetically speaking, God created the world, created all these continents, and then he created all these variations of people. You've got people, Asian people, distinctively Asian, the slanted eyes and everything, all the stereotypical stuff you want to say about it, right? Europeans look a certain way. The Native Americans look a certain way. Africans look a certain way. And they all had their own areas around the world, right? Is it possible that God created all these things with all these different types of people and gave them their own type of religion to worship Him? Is that possible? It's just food for thought. It's like the pan pot thing. Where is it? Where's the depth? How deep do you want to go to make it a pot? Those are some of the things that go through my head. I don't, it's just a theory. It's just something that. And Jesus is unique. His story is unique. I'll give you that. It is very unique. Again, I don't want to sound silly or something like that. So I can't really argue it that great. I just encourage people to read on their own and discover on their own and study on their own. You know, are you just taking the word of the guy up on it, in the church, your pastor or your priest? You just taking his word for it and going about your day, or are you actually like opening the book up and studying and cross-referencing verses and trying to analyze and, you know, deduct your own reason out of the book itself? I don't know. Some people think the end times are near. Yeah, you're right. And it follows the same narrative. Born of a virgin, greatness, conquering, and all this other good stuff. It's all the same stuff, yeah. They all have the same story as Christ. They're born of a virgin, they're perfect and immaculate, can do no wrong. Yeah, that's a valid point as well. And it's just following that same narrative, and it's getting regurgitated in a way, you know? Telephone. Anyway. Uh-oh. Yeah. I need to, you know, when we talk like this, I kind of feel bad that I haven't been reading and studying more on my own. I kind of put it to the side a little bit, kind of just going about my business. When I talk to people like you, Wesley, about this type of stuff, we go back and forth. It makes me want to get back into the books and study some more, you know. But anyway, you're a false prophet too? What? Your mom's a virgin? And you will. I get that. I felt that when I decided to separate myself from Christianity and follow the Jews. Now, I haven't converted. I'm just doing this all on my own. I'm just one guy. But I felt this huge relief and weight lifted off of me. And I cried. I was just like, it was so relieving and peaceful when I had this epiphany of my own, saying that, you know, this is the faith that is part of me, if that makes sense. And people get that with Christianity too. They have this epiphany or this point in their life where they feel this sensation, this warmth, this overwhelming feeling over themselves. It's so significant, something they've never felt like before in their whole entire lives, and it just changes them. So that's where you get it from. I used to have some rosemary plants. Yeah, they're easy to grow. They're tolerant.
Did Dean tell you?
They got a rosemary plant out here, and they clip it, take it back in the kitchen, and wash it, and use it in their food. That's your farm to table right there. You should advertise that. Oh. Right. Yeah, there is. Yeah. 2-year sage plant. At the house back in Madison, I had rosemary plants. And They're super drought. They're drought tolerant. They're very resilient plants, easy to grow. They smell great. Yep. Well, it's almost time to shut it down. Been on here for a couple of hours. I think we ran everybody else off, Wesley. Went from the funny stories to started getting serious and ran everybody off. Ah, man, it's good. It's all good. It's all good, man. I don't mind talking about that kind of stuff. We can have deep conversations too. It doesn't have to be all just jokes and stuff all the time, you know. Terry's tight pants or something like that, you know. Oh man. Have you ever? I don't know. I was gonna say. I think I already asked you that movie about that movie before. I don't know. I don't know. I am not one to say one way or the other. Who am I? But just another person, another grain of sand on the beach of this world. No little birds came in my breadcrumbs on the table. I'm making too much movement. If I sat really still, I might be able to convince a couple to show over here. Here's this piece of garbage I can never figure out. Fuck this thing. I wish I'd never bought the damn thing. Never had the desire to own a Rubik's Cube until Ved said something about it. It's like, you can do it, anybody can do it. I was like, I don't know. And then I saw it on the shelf and I bought the damn thing. I spent $5 on that damn thing, and it's caused me more aggravation than anything else in the world. And I've tried watching other people on YouTube. You just simply do this, and you flip it that way and this way, and you turn there and there. Bob's your uncle, you got a solved Rubik's Cube. It's so easy. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. It's like one of those puzzles that you have a really hard time figuring out. It is a puzzle. It's really hard to figure out. Once you figure it out, you're just like, you're done with it. It's like, I figured it out, done. No, you're good, Wesley. You're good, man. We can have conversations. I'm all about it, man. I'm not really good at articulating. I could never be a politician. I could never be a religious figure. Because people would come at me with questions and I wouldn't be able to give them an answer that I would think was appropriate or I could back up in some way. Because I can't memorize all these things. Just, I don't know. Love, peace, and happiness, right? Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. It's been a couple hours. Like I said, I think we ran everybody else off. So, I'll see you guys. I'm going to try to do that WTF news video. I got 2 now, thanks to the gender reveal thing. Anyway. Whatever. Like, share, subscribe. Check you guys next time. Have a great day. Later.